Alright, welcome back to another Walking Dead trading card video. This time we're at it with the base set for Season 6, and I think it also includes the walkers, the rivalries or whatever. Okay, no, it includes the fucking, what you call them? The damn, compounds or whatever. So let's try to get all 100. Is that? No, that's L8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is card 100. Okay. Kitty, come on, bro, get down. But yeah. So here's the extra cards. Like we'll leave them here, and we'll split this damn thing in half just so I can hold this shit better. Yeah, we'll do it exactly at 50. Why not, right? Perfect. Okay. So yeah, second stack will begin with Lake of Fire. And as y'all know, this is probably gonna be a long ass video because usually the Walking Dead ones they are very, very long. Like they range between 40 minutes and an hour. So if y'all ain't got nothing to do, welcome. If you got something to do, just watch it when you can. But starting off with Season 6, this was the Before They Come for Us. And then, as you know, we read the backs and shit. As Morgan and Rick were finding a place to bury Pete outside the walls, they discovered a quarry filled with thousands of walkers. The walkers were trapped inside the quarry by truck barricades, but those weren't going to last long, and when they were broke, the entire horde would be sent straight to Alexandria. Rick comes up with a plan to safely lead the walkers away from the community before it's too late. And then here's Daryl shooting his crossbow, doing it live. Just as Rick finishes going over the details of the plan to lead the walkers out of the quarry and away from the community, the truck on the ledge slips down and comes crashing down. With the exit open, the entire horde is to head straight for Alexandria. The group has no choice but to put the plan into action immediately, whether they're ready or not. One more peanut butter. Oh yeah, I think this is when she told Morgan that she did in fact steal that candy bar. Fucking, I miss Morgan on the show. Rick and Michonne and Morgan run to the barricade meant to deflect walkers from Alexandria. As they wait, Morgan asks Michonne if she took one of his protein bars when she was in the place. Well, when she was at the place where he had been hiding, she replies, "You always think there was one more peanut butter left." So yeah, he did know she stole his shit. Fucking, who are you? Who you are is what that says. I can't read. Rick suggests they leave Pete's body in the woods and not bother to bury him, but Morgan believes that is the wrong thing to do. Both men feel they have changed. While Morgan found peace from his killing frenzy, Rick is slowly becoming more jaded. But once they discover Ron following them, Rick's consciousness takes over and he begins to dig a grave for the man Deanna directed him to kill. Just the pizza guy. This is the pizza guy, Glenn. Just the pizza boy. Fucking, in order to stop the noise of the walkers trapped in the supply store, Glenn, Nicholas, and Heath must find a way to kill them without being overran. When they discover that the main door has been barricaded, they shoot out a window and take them all on at once. Nicholas finally proves that he is willing and able to step in and help. And here they are, the roadblock. The group needs the walker horde to make a turn in the road and keep them from Alexandria. Eugene suggests they use the metal sheets from the construction site along with the RV and the other cars to build a wall along the road to guide them in the right direction. Even with the massive number of walkers slammed against it, the wall holds and the horde avoids the corner. Keeping a secret. So here's Tara and here is Maggie. Tara was injured during the run to the warehouse and didn't know until she came out of her coma that Noah had been killed. She discusses her shock with Maggie that Nicholas was responsible for Noah's death, and Maggie reveals his bigger crime, leading Glenn out to the woods with the intent to kill him, but Maggie trusts Glenn's wish to keep it quiet in the hopes that Nicholas can change, which is fucking stupid. I killed that motherfucker then and there. Fuck that goddamn dickhead. But yeah, idiot. Here is Abraham leading some of the walkers. When several of the walkers get distracted and start to wander off the road away from the horde, Abraham jumps out of the car without hesitation. He waves his arms and makes noise to attract the walkers. When Sasha questions his desire to live, he explains that after seeing Reg and Pete killed, he's determined to live life boldly just like her. Hell yeah. Overheard. Oh, this is Eugene overhearing someone's conversation, isn't it? Fucking. Yep, if I'm correct. Eugene is in the pantry and he overhears a group led by Carter plotting to kill Rick. When the group discovers him, Carter points a gun to Eugene's head. Just as it seems he will pull the trigger. Kitty, would you stop and get down? Damn. But, yeah, just as it seems he's going to shoot Eugene, Rick walks in, disarms Carter's, then reminds him who exactly he's dealing with. He leaves Carter alive, knowing that something will kill him eventually anyway. Here is, Eden. Isn't that her name, Eden? Yeah, it's been a minute since I fucking watched this shit. I'm pretty sure this is Eden, the JSS episode where, she has, like, the little S shit on her forehead or whatever. Fucking the W, whatever it was. Eden had been surviving on the road with her parents, and when they were killed by walkers, the teenager found herself alone in the apocalypse. She wandered the roads and woods, hiding when she could, killing what she had to, eating whenever she could find. No matter the situation, she maintained and often repeated her mantra, just survive somehow. Hell yeah, fucking just filling in. Here is Denise before she got shot in the face with the arrow. After Pete's death, Denise becomes the closest thing to Alexandra that has to a doctor. Before the apocalypse, she had intentions of becoming a surgeon. With the onset of panic attacks, she turned her attention to psychiatry. She is nervous about not only learning the knowledge necessary to help patients, but also being able to control her anxiety to help them enough. Quick or slow, here's Morgan with his old stick of justice. Morgan was with the team trying to lead the quarry horde away from Alexandria when a horn of the truck began to blare. He disables the horn, then discovers the wolf chopping up a body and begs him to leave. Not out of fear of being killed, but to try to save the wolf's life. Just as they're about to fight, Carol steps in and stabs the wolf dead. Carol, a wolf in wolf's clothing, yeah, because she put the W on her fucking head and shit. But fucking Carol's badass. I ain't gonna lie, I fucking love Carol. Carol witnesses the beginning of the wolves' attack on Alexandria and quickly jumps into action. First killing a wolf before disguising herself in his clothes, she uses his blood to place a W on her forehead and pretends to be holding Morgan hostage so she can move through them more. Kitty, would you please get down? Fuck. But, move through them more easily and kill as many as possible. Michonne, Try. Yeah, this is the episode of Try. Here's Michonne and Glenn. When the horn blaring unexpectedly back at Alexandria, attracting walkers, the group must find a way back to see what has happened while also trying to keep the horde from overwhelming them. Michonne and Glenn get the group back to Alexandria, but scared and not skilled in survival, there is no way all Alexandrians will make it back alive. Oh yeah, true. Fighting a way out. Yeah, they had to fight and shit, yeah. When the noise from killing a walker inside the pet store draws the herd towards them, Michonne is forced to lead the group she is trying to save out the front door. And through the oncoming walkers, with Glenn and Nicholas having left to create a distraction, the 3 injured survivors slowed her down. It would take all of Michonne's strength to get all of these people to safety as possible. And this is where Nicholas almost got Glenn killed because he shoots himself. Fucking, yeah, thank you. And then, Glenn had to hide up under the trash can and shit. With the feed store burned down, Nicholas and Glenn run down the alley to escape the oncoming horde. They quickly find themselves in a closed-off alley and stranded on a dumpster. With nowhere to go, out of options and hope, Nicholas decides to end his life. As Nicholas shoots himself in the head, he falls onto Glenn, sending them both down into the hungry walkers below, and they eat the hell out of Nicholas. But it turns it silent because everybody thought it was fucking Glenn, and this shit was funny as hell. Fucking going mad. Here is fucking Morgan going mad. I think this is Morgan's episode, isn't it? After the loss of his wife and son, Morgan is alone in the apartment where Rick and Michonne last saw him, replaying the death of his loved ones over and over. He yells at his family, that is no longer there. He is fiercely shouting, saying they weren't supposed to be there. During his ranting, a lantern tips over and begins burning his apartment down around him. And then here is the whole fucking burnt apartment. Morgan is on the endless mission to kill every walker he can find. He spends his days setting traps and hunting constantly to clear areas of the dead. He drags the ones he kills into piles and sets them ablaze, and when the flames draw more, he just adds them to the fire. Once he feels the area is complete, he marks it as clear and moves on to the next one. Oh yeah, I forgot he did do all that shit, didn't he? Fucking just killing them just to kill them. But here he is killing some more walkers. Morgan has set himself on a mission to kill everyone he sees, whether they are alive or dead, so he discovers two men running through the woods. He hides and waits to attack them. When they approach, he ends up killing them, but this isn't the last time Morgan will see one of the strangers he has strangled. He has just strangled. Wait, what? I can't read. But this isn't the last time Morgan will see one of the strangers he has just strangled. The cheese maker. So yeah, this is when he got locked up, wasn't it? Morgan follows the sound of a goat to find a cabin in the woods. He shoots at the goat's owner and tries to hunt him down, but he is hit over the head and knocked unconscious, and awakens to find himself inside a cell within the cabin. Morgan repeatedly begs his captor to kill him, but his requests are ignored. A man of peace, Eastman's goal is to help Morgan deal with his grief and remember who he used to be. Fucking that's where he even got the stick at, fucking, which is awesome as hell. But it was there. Yeah, redirection, so this man's like training Morgan to be the best around. After time and patience, Morgan begins to learn from Eastman. They grow food, protect the area around the cabin, and practice the art of Aikido together. Eastman teaches Morgan that he must not only believe that his life is precious, but that all life is precious. Morgan must also accept that who he was and the things he has done in the past in order to move forward and create peace. Open the gate! Open the goddamn gate! Fucking... After the horn blast redirects the horde back toward Alexandria, Rip barely escapes being overran in the RV and runs back to the community with the walkers following him all the way. As Rick rushes to safety, the gates are closed, but the horde has found Alexandria with hundreds of walkers surrounded the walls. The terrified community looks to Rick for a way to make them leave. Here's Aaron. Through the sewers, going through the sewers. Aaron feels guilty since his backpack filled with pictures of Alexandria led the wolves here. When he discovers Maggie's plan to leave and find Glenn, he insists on going with her. Instead of going over the wall and through the waiting walkers, he walks with her through the sewer and under the wall in the hopes of coming on the other side of the horde. A new leader. Oh yeah, this is when she appoints Rick to be fucking leader or whatever, isn't it? Dinah is walking with a basket of food when she is surprised by Walker. Using a broken bottle, she repeatedly stabs Walker in the chest in a rage over the loss of her safe community. After Rick rushes and kills the Walker, she tells him that she wants the community to remain standing, but when he tells her that they need her leadership, she laughs. She knows the leader they need is Rick. Ambush. Here's Daryl on his back. Having successfully led as much of the Corey horde away from the community as possible, Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham are ready to turn and make their way back to Alexandria, when suddenly shots are fired in the direction of the gunmen lying on the side of the road. Daryl manages to escape, but not without injury. Separated, here's Sasha and Abraham. Oop, did not mean to drop that one. On their way back to Alexandria, Sasha and Abraham are separated from Daryl afterward by gunmen who ambushed them. Once they outrun their attackers, they try to find Daryl, and not knowing that he has been kidnapped, they don't want to go back to Alexandria, so they wait for Daryl to find them. Oh yeah, good guy Daryl. Yeah, here's the kidnappers and shit. After Dwight took him hostage, yeah, this is like the first time we saw Dwight. After Dwight took him hostage, Daryl waited for the right moment to grab the bag they were carrying and escape. But once he realized that the bag contained insulin that one of the women needed, he returned and traded it for a small wooden carving. As Daryl is leaving them, a truck comes barreling through the woods in search of Dwight and the woman. Daryl doesn't hesitate to help them escape. Yeah, because Daryl's an okay guy. Hell yeah, fucking howdy, gentlemen. After becoming separated from Daryl, Abraham and Sasha are holed up in a small town. Abraham spots a military vehicle and is pleased to find ammunition for a rocket launcher. Unfortunately, the weapon itself is attached to a walker that is dangling off the side of the bridge. Abraham nearly gets bitten trying to retrieve it, but with a little patience, the launcher finally becomes his. And then, yeah, Daryl betrayed. Even after helping him, they betrayed his ass, which was fucked up as hell. Daryl helped Dwight escape the search party that was coming after them and bury some old friends that they had found in the burned forest. Daryl felt that after what they had been through, he was compelled to ask Dwight the questions and invite them to the community. But once Daryl revealed his motorcycle hidden in the bush, Dwight betrayed Daryl and pulled his gun, taking his bike and his crossbow. I'd have been so pissed off if he took my crossbow. Out of hiding. Yeah, this is when Glenn lived. He comes crawling out of the fucking... I'm surprised he could fit up under that goddamn dumpster, honestly. When Nicholas shot himself, both he and Glenn fell into the dumpster onto the crowd of walkers below. Nicholas landed on top of Glenn, trapping him, and the horde began to eat Nicholas. Glenn managed to pull himself away and squeeze under the dumpster, where he remained hidden for days. Ooh, just watching that motherfucker get eaten, too. Chasing Eden. Oh, yeah, because he finds Eden and she throws him like a water bottle and shit and fucking... Yeah. Once he crawled out from under the dumpster, Glenn was surprised to find that Eden had left Alexandria, was living in a nearby abandoned building. Desperate for answers, he begs the information about his wife and the others back at the community. Eden's still fearful of ever getting close to anyone, only wants to be left alone, but Glenn knows they need each other to survive. Get a grip. Oh, yeah, this is her teaching him how to use a fucking machete, wasn't it? Fucking... or some shit, or trying to. Rosita teaches lessons to the others in Alexandria how to kill walkers and how to defend themselves from other people. Eugene wants to learn and not be afraid, but he doesn't trust himself with a machete and any other weapon. Rosita explains to him that the hardest part of dying is not for the one who dies, but for the one who are left behind must continue to survive. So yeah, and hell yeah, he was like, Eugene was one of the motherfuckers that helped out when the wall fell, and I thought that shit was cool as fuck. Crazy idea. They were going to rappel across the fucking wire or whatever. In a desperate attempt to do anything to help, Spencer makes the insane decision to go over the wall and try to draw the walkers away from the Alexandria. He tosses a grappling hook from the wall to a nearby building and begins to climb across the rope, but the horde of walkers below, but the hook inevitably fails and Spencer falls to the ground, forcing Terror and an angered Rick to rescue him. Oh yeah, Rick was pissed the fuck off, wasn't he? Fucking being stalked. Here's old Carl Grimes. Carl and Rick had been teaching Ron to shoot, but what they didn't realize is that he was still angry about Rick shooting his father, Pete. But he also holds a grudge against Carl, believing Carl stole Eden's affection. Now Ron is waiting for the opportunity to take his fucking revenge. What a fucking pussy, bro. Fucking sure, the man shoots your daddy, but fucking goddamn, bro. He didn't take your girl. She wasn't even your girl to begin with. Jesus, bro. Yeah, now the walls finally fell down. Rick and Tobin were doing their best to reinforce any weak areas in the wall surrounding Alexandria to keep out the horde, but their effects are rendered useless when the tower that was damaged by the Wolves' truck ramming into it comes crashing down. Taking down the wall within seconds, hundreds of walkers come pouring into the community. Yeah, this was, fuck, who was that? Climber to safety. Who climbed up there? That was that Tara? No, I think that was Maggie. Yeah, Maggie sees the green balloons that Glenn and Eden set loose to signal that they were safe and waiting on the other side of the wall. Moments later, her joy turns to horror as the tower comes crashing down and the horde invades. Maggie runs and barely makes it up to the ladder to the lookout platform above the wall where she is trapped with hungry walkers below. Yeah, here's Diana, Rick, and Carl, and Michonne, and Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel killing motherfuckers now. Fuck it. Hell yeah, running scared. Caught off guard, and the group tries desperately to find each other and make their way to safety. Rick helps the injured Diana run, while Michonne, Gabriel, and Carl fight their way through the crowd. But they are soon surrounded, and it is Jesse who comes to the rescue, shooting several walkers so the group can run to their house where they would be safe, but not for very long. Born this way, here's that little fucking wolf dickhead that Morgan was gonna let live. Morgan took Denise to the cell in order to treat the wolf he was holding hostage. Now she is trapped with them and the wall comes down and the horde invades. The wolf explains to Denise that they were not killing people but freeing them. Denise disagrees and tells him that he wasn't born this way and he can still change. Dollar Hick Tibby I don't know. Fuck that. Don't even. Yeah, I think she's like sick and shit now, right? Like she knows she's gonna die or some shit. Yeah, cause she got bit. Damn, I forgot she got bit. Cause she literally lets them escape and start shooting the walkers and shit, only for her to be eaten alive. But goddamn, like she accepts it, you know, like she takes that shit. Michonne is comforting Diana as she lays dying from a walker bite. She knows she doesn't have long, but is grateful that she was able to spend the time she had with her family and to do what she wanted to up until the very end of her life. Diana encourages Michonne to figure out what it is she really wants, not just from the community, but from what she has left in her life. Yeah, and here's all of them stuck in that little basement. Fucking Rosita, Tara, Eugene. Who else was with them? I can't remember who else was with them. But you gotta earn it. Rosita, Eugene, and Tara are trapped in a garage with walkers despite desperate to call their way in. Rosita seems out of hope, worried that Abraham is dead and they're all destined to die. Tara believes this isn't the end, not of their life or their chance to make a home out of Alexandria. Confrontation. Yeah, Carol was gonna kill the fucking Whisperer, wasn't he? Or the Wolf, whatever the fuck you call him. After faking the seriousness of her injuries, Carol discovers a secret that Morgan had locked in the basement cell. As soon as she sees the wolf, she knows he must die. Morgan is determined to save every life and believes killing him makes them no better than the wolves. Neither want to fight each other, but they both feel they must for their beliefs. Yeah, because Carol's not afraid to kill a motherfucker. And this is where Dina dies, because they bring in a walker, they cut him up, and they made their little ponchos and shit. And then, yeah, they're meat ponchos. And fucking, with walkers taking over the house, the group must find a way to escape. And they are running out of options. As walkers are coming up the stairs, Rick and Michonne use the guts and blood of 2 walkers to make camouflage ponchos out of the sheets for each of them to wear, covering their human scent. And they slowly begin to make their way through the crowd of walkers undetected. And she stays there killing herself. Like, oh my damn foot. But, Dina stays, and yeah, this is when we first meet Negan's group and shit. And Daryl blows every fucking one of them up. As Abraham, Sasha, and Daryl are on their way back to Alexandria with a truck full of fuel, they come upon a blockade of saviors on motorcycles. They are told to get out of the truck, not to ask questions, and that any property they have now belongs to Negan. Abraham is not good at being forced to follow instructions and quickly finds himself looking down the barrel of a gun. Nibble on that, bitch. Fucking. While the leader of the Savior crew questions Abraham and Sasha, one of the men takes Daryl to the back of the truck to see what else they have. Their fatal mistake was thinking that just one man would be able to keep Daryl from rescuing his friends. Daryl silently kills the man, grabs the RPG that is stashed in the back of the truck, and blows the Saviors to pieces. Here's the new plan. Here's Jesse, her son, Michonne. This is when Carl is about to get shot. Even though their bloody camouflage ponchos are working, Michonne keeps a watchful eye on the crowd of walkers, while Rick and the others form a plan to lead the horde out of Alexandria. He leaves Judith in the care of Gabriel at the church, while the others head for the cars left at the quarry. Jesse tries to convince Sam to stay with Gabriel as well, but he claims that he'll be fine, and he isn't. That stupid kid is the reason all this shit happens. Goddamn, he gets scared, he starts pissing himself, his mom starts trying to tell him not to be a bitch about it. He ends up getting bitten, he's dying, she bites, like she gets bit, she's dying, fucking she's trying to hold on to her car on shit, Rick cuts that bitch's hand off, fucking Ron, her oldest son, sees all that shit and fucking, he's mad as hell that his fucking, he's done lost his dad, his mom, his brother, he shoots at fucking Rick, I think, and fucking Michonne stabs that motherfucker, but then they realize he shot fucking Carl in the goddamn eyeball. Like, had her son stayed there, none of that shit would have happened. They would have got the fuck up out of there alive. Fucking, you're still here. Glenn and Eden look for anything that can help rescue not only Alexandria, but also Maggie, who is trapped on the platform next to the wall. As they search for a nearby church, Glenn explains that the people you love are a part of you, and if you stop being you, then that's the last of them is gone. Yeah, here's walking through the horde. You see this whole fucking scene pisses me off. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Like, that little motherfucker should have stayed with Gabriel. Fucking dumbass kid, dude. As Rick leads the group through the crowd of walkers, Sam is overcome with visions of what Carol told him about the monsters eating him. He begins to cry, quickly attracting walkers who attack him. Jessie screams at the sight of her son being eaten, and in turn is bitten by walkers. Carl struggles to escape Jessie's death grip as she clings onto his hand, and Rick steps up and chops her hand off to free his son from the dying woman. And then yeah, they find her body later, and Abraham's like, "Oh man, no, let's not let Rick see this." Okay, yeah, Carl shot right in the fucking eyeball. After his mother and brother are eaten alive, Ron seizes the gun that Carl dropped and aims it at Rick. He blames Rick for the loss of his entire family. Michonne does not hesitate and stabs Ron with her katana. But as he falls, the gun goes off, shooting Carl in the eye. And then Courage. Here is Gabriel. Yeah, because Gabriel leaves Judith in there alone, doesn't he? After taking Carl to Denise to be cared for, Rick runs back into the Horde in a blind rage. After the loss of Jesse and the injury of Carl, Michonne and the others quickly join him. Gabriel, watching from the safety of the church, joins them. When questioned why, he explains that their prayers had been answered. God had given them the courage to save the town themselves. And yeah, here's the cavalry. Fucking the three of them arrived and shit. Glenn was drawing away the walkers, but he is quickly overwhelmed by the numbers. He finds himself out of ammo and completely surrounded. Just when he's about to be overwhelmed, a massive spray of bullets rain down. The walkers begin falling around him. Glenn looks up to see Abraham and Sasha, and they're smiling on top of the wall. And then that's the first 50 of them. So that covers all the way up into the, like right before Daryl shoots the fucking RPG into the lake after they fill it up with gas. Oh shit! So we got 50 more. Then we got the location cards and the walker cards and whatever else they got on there. But yeah, the Lake of Fire. So this is when Daryl had just shot that RPG. After filling that shit up with gas. While the community is doing well fighting back the hundreds of walkers in hand-to-hand combat, there's no way they'll be able to kill them all. Using the gasoline that was in the truck he found in the woods, Daryl fills the lake in the center of the town and sets it ablaze with a rocket launcher. Attracted by the light and sounds, the Horde submerges themselves in fiery death. God damn. Oh, hell. That was a big sneeze. I was trying to finish reading that card before I sneezed. Damn. Okay, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay, that should be all. But what we can do. So this is after Carl, he survives the surgery and shit. With Carl in a coma, Rick recounts the day's events. He once thought the people of Alexandria could never help themselves, but he saw how they came together and now believes they are ready, that they can survive. He is ready to rebuild Alexandria and make it life for everyone. Create a new world. As Rick bows his head in tears, Carl squeezes his hand. Envy of all corns. Here's Eugene opening the gate for the car to leave. As Rick and Daryl leave on the supply run, Eugene gives them a list and map of nearby agricultural supply places. It tells them to specifically look for sorghum. Most people would have passed sorghum by, but Eugene explains that it could be drastically expand the community's food supply, which is getting dangerously low. Searching for Diana. Diana made a safe place for her family in all Alexandria. In the end, her last defiant act was to take out as many walkers as possible. Since Diana was killed, Spencer had been sneaking into the woods in search for his mother so he could honor her life by putting her to properly to rest. So this is after they had met Jesus and they're looking for him and shit because he stole their truck. Taking Eugene's advice, Rick and Daryl stop at the barn with the words sorghum written in giant letters across the top. Inside they find more than grain. They find a truck completely loaded with a variety of some needed supplies. And they stop it to search a gas station when they met Jesus. Jesus swipes the truck's keys and tricks them with firecrackers, thinking that he can steal the truck, forcing Rick and Daryl to chase him on foot. What do you know about us? Can Daryl and Rick spot Jesus changing a flat tire and are able to sneak up on him and overtake him. Jesus puts up a good fight but can't overpower them both. They tie him up but not tight enough because he fucking runs. Law of averages, yeah, because now he's fucking booking it. But Rick and Daryl are on their way back to Alexandria with a supply truck when they hear a noise. Rick slams on the brakes and Jesus comes flying off the roof into the field. He runs and Daryl jumps out and chases him while Rick gets out to kill the walkers. Jesus and Daryl fight over the truck and knock it out of gear, causing it to roll back into the lake and sink. Which I don't understand why they didn't just hop back in that bitch and like swim up under that shit and fucking like get the shit out of the truck. But you know, proper burial. Yeah, they just buried Denise, if I'm correct. When Carl spots Diana wandering in the woods, he understands why Spencer is out there looking for her. Having had to kill his own mother, Carl knows that how much it means to be the one to do so. So he leads Dina to Spencer. As Dina approaches, Michonne helps hold her so that Spencer can put his mom to rest. They bury Dina and mark her grave. Finally, Rick and Michonne get together. Rick and Michonne have been surviving together for a long time, and though their feelings for one another are grown, and they find themselves resting on a couch at the end of the day, their hands meet and they act upon their feelings both of them have had for some time. Crashed. Oh yeah, so this is like Jesus, like after he like tells them what's up and shit. After freeing himself from the basement cell and surprising Rick and Michonne in their room, Jesus convinces the group to travel to his nearby community called the Hilltop. Jesus hopes that they can come to an agreement and begin trading with each other. Along the way, they come across a recent car crash. A very worried Jesus says it's one of his group's cars and asks for Rick's help. We're with Jesus. Again, after stopping for the car crash, Daryl finds tracks leading to the nearby building. Rick, afraid this might be a trick, puts handcuffs on Jesus and leaves him with Maggie while the others go and investigate. Inside, they find a few stray walkers plus some scared Hilltop residents. In a bit of luck for Glenn and Maggie, one of the people there is a fucking baby person. Trust us. Okay, when Rick and the group arrive at the Hilltop community, the outlooks above the gates, armed with only spears, insist that they give up their weapons. After a tense moment, Jesus says they can keep them. When Rick suggests they discuss their business outside, Jesus admits that the Hilltop community has ran out of ammo months ago and hopes Rick will give them as much trust that he has been given. Here's the trade negotiations. The leader of the Hilltop community is a man named Gregory, and he is pompous and misogynistic man, but the group must find a way to deal with him in order to trade for supplies. Rick sends Maggie in to discuss trade, and she plays nice at first, but quickly learns that Gregory responds better to power. They eventually discover that their most tradable commodity is their strength as a team. And here's Rick aiming his gun. While they're trying to figure out a way to work with the Hilltop agreement with Gregory, members of the Hilltop crew return from delivering supplies to the Saviors. Negan claimed that the drop was light, killed two of their people, kidnapped another, and only would be returned if Gregory was killed. When Ethan stabs Gregory, Rick attacks, and after a fight, stabs Ethan in the neck. Carol's cookies. So this is Carol baking some cookies. Carol may be a skilled survivor and a ruthless killer, but she hides her skills from the residents of Alexandria to put them at ease as to not blow over her cover. But she uses whichever ingredient she can find to make cookies and hand delivers them with a smile. Oh yeah, because they don't really know she can fucking straight up fuck shit up, yeah, if I remember correctly. Kill them all. Once Rick and the group return from the Hilltop, they gather everyone at the church to explain what happened. In order to trade for food, they must go to Negan's compound, rescue Craig, a Hilltop resident, and kill everyone inside. Rick argues that even though they would be doing this to create trade with the Hilltop, they also need to strike first before the Saviors find Alexandria and attack them as well. So here is the choices. He's like, choices. Rick gathers everyone in the church to discuss whether or not to kill the unsuspecting Saviors in their compound. He asks anyone at Jets, and Morgan stands to suggest that they try talking to Negan and his group before attacking them. Rick thinks that's a mistake, and Aaron, still feeling guilty for the wolves discovering their location, stands to agree with Rick. Why are you still wearing that? Oh yeah, that's the church thing, right? The little preacher thing. Gabriel has been through a lot of changes since Rick first found him. He's slowly been earning trust after betraying the group when they first arrived at Alexandria. He joins the missions to kill the Saviors, and when he and Rick have a moment alone, Rick asks him why he's still wearing his collar. He explains that he is still the same person that he was, or at least he thinks he is. Here is old Glenny boy. When Glenn and Heath are out searching for a head that resembles Gregory's to present to the compound, they talk about both how they've been lucky and how they've killed many walkers. Neither had to kill a living person up to this point. Both of them are nervous about what infiltrating the compound means. Not only, oh yeah, shit, fucking Glenn and shit has not had to kill a person yet. It's been everyone else who has killed a person. Oh shit. Fucking Carl's killed a person, Rick's killed a person, Carol's killed a person. I think Maggie's killed a person. Sasha, Abraham, Rosita, they've all killed people. Fuck it. Jesus. I just now really realized that Glenn himself has not killed anyone. Except walkers. Oh shit. He's watched people die, but he ain't had to kill nobody yet. But here we have picking ahead. The Hilltops people were told to bring proof of Gregory's death and trade for Craig. On their way to attack the compound by surprise, they stopped to spread out and search for a walker of the right features, in order to trick the Saviors so they can gain entry more easily. When close enough matches and found, Rip beats up the head that they do find to make it look like Gregory put up a fight. Infiltrating the compound. With the fake Gregory head as a decoy, the group is able to slip into the compound with everyone asleep, and they are able to slip from room to room and kill Saviors undetected. But once the alarm is triggered, it becomes an all war with guns firing in around every corner. With skill and a little bit of luck, the group is able to defend each other and make it out alive. The fight's not over yet. As Rick draws his gun on the Savior trying to escape the compound, he hears a voice on the walkie-talkie telling him to lower his gun. Rick tells them to come out, but the voice merely tells them all to lower their weapons, and they can explain they have taken... Yeah, then they explain they've taken Carol and Maggie hostage. Nervous little bird. I forgot they got taken hostage. Carol is skilled at adapting to any environment, as Carol and Maggie have brought into the slaughterhouse to be held hostage. Paula kills a walker and she drags the body away. Carol snatches a crucifix from it. Once they return to interrogate them, Carol fakes hyperventilating in devotion to religion so her captors won't know just how much of a threat she really is. Choosing something. As Carol is feigning weakness, she tells them that it doesn't matter what happens to her as long as Maggie is safe. Revealing that Maggie is pregnant, it upsets Paula and Michelle, and they are shocked that a woman will allow herself to get pregnant during the apocalypse. Paula claims that it makes her stupid and vulnerable, but Maggie believes that getting pregnant is a choice and a hopeful one. And then this is them fighting back. Oh yeah, because they escape and shit, yeah. Carol shot Donnie in the arm just before she and Maggie were taken hostage. Maggie tries to convince Paula to work it out with Rick to get him help. Donnie, who was losing blood and dying, angrily approaches Carol, but Maggie sweeps his feet out from under him to defend him from turning his anger onto her. He fights both women and kicks Carol several times before Paula knocks him out with her pistol. And here they are, both just fucking chilling. They're afraid or whatever. Carol sharpens the crucifix on the floor to cut through her bindings and frees Maggie. Carol wants to leave, but Maggie insists that they kill their captors. After killing Molly, they head for the exit. They find walkers lining the hallway as a security system to keep them from in and others out. When Paula finds them, Carol begs her to run, but Paula refuses and Carol is forced to kill again. The kill floor. Yep. Yeah, see, yeah, Maggie has killed people then. Glenn's the only one that hasn't, I think. Paula has been waiting on reinforcements at the slaughterhouse. Once she is killed, Maggie and Carol know they can't leave any Saviors alive. When they're ready at their arrival, Carol tells them to come and meet them on the kill floor. Maggie and Carol fill this room with gasoline, and once the Saviors are inside, they lock them in and set the room on fire. Can't anyone. After killing their captors and burning the other Saviors alive, Maggie and Carol open the door to leave the slaughterhouse and find Glenn, Rick, and Daryl waiting. Both women are upset, not by being held hostage, but what they had to do to escape. The number of people that each of them has had to kill to survive is beginning to weigh heavily on them. Yeah, so now they're starting to feel guilty about killing all these people and shit. Which is kind of funny in a way, because considering they've never gave a fuck to begin with. But now they do. Yeah, tick, tick, clink. Oh yeah, this is when he was looking through the shit, wasn't it? Eugene has struggled with his weakness since the beginning. He knows he is someone that needs protection more than he has been able to contribute, but is hoping to change that. While he may not be a warrior yet, he knows that the other ways to help survive. He takes Abraham to a machine shop where he believes that they can manufacture bullets for protection and trade. which he ends up doing, and that's how he saves the whole fucking Alexandria. The apothecary. Denise remembers an apothecary she saw on her way to Alexandria and asks Daryl and Rosita to help her get back to search for any useful medicines. They find supplies. They also find a woman who has drowned her child, which upsets Denise. Rosita and Daryl have become accustomed to all the death and horror the apocalypse has brought, but Denise still struggles being brave enough to face it. Oop. This way's faster. On their way to the apothecary, they came to the roadblock and they are forced to walk the rest of the way. Rosita wants to take the quicker route following the railroad tracks, but Daryl refuses. He has not had a good history of railroad tracks and feels the road might be safer. On the way back, he realizes and agrees that the tracks are a faster route home, but he should have trusted his instincts. Hell yeah, you should have. Train tracks are fucked. Wake up. Yeah, Denise got shot right in the fucking eyeball with Daryl's crossbow at that. Fucking Denise constantly struggled with keeping to be brave and speaking her truth. She shares that she is still sad and that she is too scared to tell Tara that she loved her before she left. She wants Daryl and Rosita just to see how brave they really are, but just as she's getting to them, Dwight's arrow pierces her eye and kills her. Should have taken the long way. Hell yeah, should have taken the long way. Fucking. After killing Denise and several saviors ambush. Yeah, Dwight and several saviors ambush Daryl and Rosita on the tracks. They have taken Eugene hostage and threatened his life and theirs if they aren't taken to Alexandria. Eugene surprises Dwight by biting him in the dick. Yeah, he bites him in the dick, which creates enough distraction for Abraham to come out of the bushes and save him. I don't know if I'd have to. I don't know, man. I don't know if I could bite a man's dick just to fucking, you know. Even if like I knew my homeboy was in the bush about to fuck these guys up, I'd have to bite him on the fucking ankle or like something, man. I don't know if I could bite his fucking dick, man. Fucking, I'm nobody. Carol left Alexandria because she didn't want to kill anymore. She knows staying and being part of a community means she will eventually have to kill again in order to protect people she cares for. Not far down the road, she is stopped by a group of men in a truck. She begs them to leave her alone so that no one can get hurt. They continue to threaten her. She has no choice but to defend herself and kill them. Following the blood trail, you got Rick and Morgan. Tobin shows Rick the note that Carol left for him before she packed up and left Alexandria. Morgan and Rick immediately leave together to find her because while they had different opinions on how to handle the saviors, they both care for Carol. They come upon the wrecked cars and bodies from her confrontation on the road and follow the trail of blood in hopes of finding her alive. Tracking Dwight. Yeah, he's coming for Dwight. He wants Dwight's head. As soon as Eugene is safely in Alexandria to have his gunshot wound cared for, Daryl jumps on his bike and leaves to hunt down Dwight and the saviors that killed Denise. Daryl feels responsible for Denise's death because he could have killed Dwight when they were in the burned forest, but he didn't. He goes on the railroad tracks where she died, hides his bike, and begins tracking them. People can come back, Rick. They can. As Rick and Morgan are searching for Carol, Morgan confronts Rick about why he feels it is necessary to kill people. As an example, he reminds Rick of when he sent Carol away for killing Karen and David at the prison, and how she was able to come back and rescue them from Terminus. Morgan believes that even if people have done something terrible, they can still come back. That is true. I mean, you know, to an extent, Morgan ain't wrong. Someone new. Yeah, someone new. This is someone new. So this is a new Carol. Rick and Morgan find a barn looking for Carol and see a man killing the dead. Rick draws his gun and tries to force him to reveal himself so he can be questioned. But as he refuses, saying he is just looking for his horse, as he runs away, Rick shoots, but Morgan pushes him so he misses. Rick is angry, wanting to hunt him, but Morgan argues that this is just a man looking for a horse. And then, yeah, they're captured. Both of them, Michonne and Glenn, are captured. Oh, and Daryl gets shot, yeah. Rosita, Michonne, and Glenn go after Daryl when they discover that he went to find Dwight. When they find him, they beg him to come home, but he refuses, and Rosita goes with him to seek revenge for Denise. As Michonne and Glenn are on their way back to Alexandria, they hear a whistle, and they are captured by Dwight and Saviors, who use them as bait to trap Daryl. And then, yeah, hi Daryl, and he shoots Daryl, and so many people got pissed off Daryl got shot, too. Daryl and Rosita find Glenn and Michonne bound and gagged in the woods, held hostage by the Saviors. They attempt to rescue them, but Dwight has circled around him and holds a gun on him from behind. Before he can respond or make a move to defend himself, Dwight fires one shot that hits Daryl and tells him, "You'll be alright." And then, yeah, here's Gabriel defending the home front with a sniper rifle, which is fucking awesome. Maggie had been in a sudden and sharp pain in her abdomen and needs to get to the obstruction, I don't even know how to pronounce that shit, at the hilltop as quickly as possible. When the Savior is still out there looking for them, it is a risky journey, but they have to try. Rick and Abraham and Eugene and yeah, Carl, Aaron, and Sasha take Maggie to the RV and hilltop. They entrust Gabriel to defend Alexandria and Judith. Oh yeah, I forgot Aaron was there, wasn't he? Shit. So fucking weird. I forgot all about Aaron being there. Yeah, real soon, yeah, he finds Carol and shit. As he is traveling on horseback, Morgan sees Carol curled up in the entranceway to a building. She is injured from a gunshot wound she received from the Saviors back on the road and is given up and ready to die. Carol is upset that Morgan has chased her down, and she told them not to come looking for her, but Morgan couldn't let her stay out here all alone, because Morgan's a real motherfucker, bro. Fucking the last day on Earth. This is Rick. Oh yeah, this is when they're all in the RV, isn't it? On the way to the hilltop, the group runs into a blockade of Saviors with a beaten prisoner laying in the road. The Savior tells them to submit and hand over their stuff. Rick refuses and threatens to kill the Saviors. As they board the RV to leave, the Saviors issue out one last warning. You ain't gonna like it. Keep driving. The group comes across a second blockade of cars and men with guns in the road, and this group is the larger than the last. Carl thinks they should make a stand. Rick believes it isn't time yet, and they need to find a way to fight their own terms. With Maggie's condition worsening, they are forced to turn around once again and try to find another way to the hilltop. See, had they listened to Carl, they would have had that shit. Fucking, my boy Carl's a G. He'd have had every one of them fucking killed. You decide, yeah, this was whoever fucking, oh yeah, Morgan, wasn't it? No, it wasn't Morgan. A lone Savior from the shootout on the road hunts Carol down and tackles her. He shoots her in the arm and then the leg, hoping to watch her die. Slowly, Carol begins to smile, and when she asks what she's smiling about, she explains that she's going to die soon. There's nothing wrong anymore. As he begins to walk away, she yells that he can't just walk away. He must decide. And then now, yeah, Morgan knocks that motherfucker out, I think. Morgan has done everything in his power not to kill anyone, but when he finds the man torturing Carol, about to shoot her one last time, Morgan is forced to shoot him in order to save her. Oh yeah, Morgan kills him, hell yeah. Morgan begins helping her, and she begs him to let her die. He tells her it's not her turn. And he is tending her wounds. He is approached by two men who say they can get some help. Here is the final warning. In the final roadblock, the Saviors drop a walker off the side of a bridge with a chain around his neck. The group is forced to watch him hang and die. The Saviors also have laid a large stack of trees across the road, making it impossible to pass through. The logs are set ablaze, and the group is forced to turn back again. But this time, there is no more roads to be taken. A few more miles. Yeah, because they start going out on foot and shit. Desperate to get Maggie to the doctor at the hilltop. With the Saviors both ahead and behind them, the group resorts to carrying Maggie on a stretcher the last few miles to their destination. Eugene volunteers to attempt to distract the Saviors by continuing on the road with the RV for as long as he can. Once in the wood, they are quickly surrounded by Saviors whistling an eerie tune. And here's Negan himself. Surrounded in the woods, Rick and the others are forced to help Maggie off the stretcher and get down on their knees. The Saviors then drag Daryl, Michonne, Rosita, and Glenn to join them. With Eugene also captured out of the RV, Rick realizes everyone he loves has been captured. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yep, and this is when fucking Abraham should not have died. It should have just been Glenn. I'm gonna be real with you. It should not have been Abraham. I think that was some bullshit. Like, it should not have been Abraham. With everyone lined up, Negan emerges from the RV with Lucille. He walks up and down the line, explaining that he doesn't want to kill all of them because he needs them to work for him. But he also can't let them all live because of how many people they've killed. He decides which one he will beat to death with Lucille by playing the most terrifying game of Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. So that was all base 100. So we have just a few more left. We have the location card, which is starts off with Alexandria. Aaron brought Rick and his group to the safety of Alexandria because he knew they needed people with survival skills to help the community to survive. But trouble seems to follow Rick where he goes, and Alexandria now face more challenges than ever before. And here's the quarry. This is where all the fucking walkers were stuck at and shit. Rick and Morgan are burying Pete's body. They discover a quarry filled with walkers. Rick quickly realizes the reason Alexandria hasn't been overrun is that the thousands of walkers in the area have fallen into the rocky pit, but they won't stay there forever. Here is the dumpster. This is where Glenn hid. Attempting to flee from the horde of walkers, Glenn and Nicholas run down the alley only to be trapped. When it becomes a dead end with no escape, they quickly scramble on top of a dumpster. Nicholas decides to end it all, but takes Glenn down with him in the fall. He escapes by hiding under the dumpster till the horde of walkers lose interest and wander away. Eugene's bullet factory. Eugene has always been the one to be saved during the apocalypse. After the attack of Alexandria, he is determined to find a way to contribute. He takes Abraham to an industrial machine shop that he discovered and explains that he is going to begin manufacturing bullets to protect Alexandria. The jail cell. This is where the wolf was tied up at. Carol is killing as many wolves as she can before finding that she can find during the attack on Alexandria. Morgan captures one instead and puts him in a makeshift jail cell in the basement. Hoping to change his ways after the wolf escape in death, Morgan begins building a permanent jail cell with cement blocks and bars. The hilltop. Sorry, this is the little hilltop. Before the apocalypse, the hilltop colony was simply an antique residence. The home had survived for decades without power. When the war ended, the people naturally migrated there and put up walls around it to create a thriving community. Here is the Saviors compound when they first started killing every fucking thing. The Saviors are demanding that the hilltop colony give them half of their supplies regularly, and they have killed members of the community to keep them in line. After making a trade deal with Gregory, Rick leads the team to go into the Saviors compound and kill them while they are sleeping. He has not dead the battle he had just begun. The slaughterhouse. This is where they burned all them motherfuckers to death. Maggie and Carol standing watching while the others are inside the Saviors compound. When they are captured by Paulo's group, they are taken to a slaughterhouse to hold them hostage until backup can arrive. But Negan's group underestimates them, and before long they are free from their bonds and able to kill their captors, and the reinforcements are on their way. And this is the walkers now. Okay, so this is the final little stretch of cards, is the walker cards. So we have the walker from the quarry. I think like the first one that pushed out, right? As Rick is going over the plan to remove the horde of walkers from the quarry with as little threat to Alexandria as possible, a tractor trailer shifts and releases the horde. Walkers begin to force their way through the parked trailers, and just as one squeezes through, ripping himself to shreds, Daryl takes him down with the bolts. And then here we have this little walker. I can't remember which one this was. That's one of the creepy ass looking walkers though. Fucking Glenn and Nicholas are on their way to find the feed store so they can set it on fire and distract the horde. While they come across a walker trapped in a car, Nicholas recognizes him as Will from the previous search crew. Glenn steps up to kill Will, but Nicholas stops him, saying he should be the one to do it since he left them behind. Oof. Oh yeah, he kept coming across people that he left behind like a fucking asshole. So here's a bunch of the walkers in the community. Or no, this is the horde. After finding the feed store already burned down, Nicholas and Glenn are looking for other way to create a distraction. When part of the horde finds them, they go down an alley to escape. They scramble on top of a dumpster where they are stranded and completely surrounded by a horde of walkers reaching and trying to grab them. Here's one of the walkers that have been burned alive, or burned to death, or whatever. Daryl's helping Dwight, Tina, and Sherry hide from the Saviors who want to take them back to Negan. When Daryl sees a walker stuck between a tree and a rock, Daryl shakes the bush to lure one of the survivors onto his path, and the walker grabs him and bites him. The Savior does not hesitate to chop off the affected arm. And then here's this one walker from the fucking compound. Not compound, but fucking, yeah. Covered in walker guts to camouflage himself, Rick leads the group out of the house and into the herd wandering through the Alexandria. Sam struggles to finding a way to be brave and suddenly finds himself surrounded by nightmarish monsters that he had been so terrified of his entire life. Which is why he should have stayed with Gabriel. But no, he had to stay with his mommy. Stupid ass kid. Because if it was not for Sam, Carl would not have got shot. Jesse would have been alive. Sam would have been alive. Ron would have been alive. Fucking, yeah, like, they all would have been okay, you know? Fucking, here's this walker. I gotta say, the makeup on the walkers was so fucking good. Like, the ones who do the makeup, the makeup for the walkers and shit, they do that shit so damn good. Ever the motherly homemaker at heart, Carol goes outside the walls to gather nuts in order to bake and beat acorn cookies to give to the people of Alexandria. Walker approaches while she is foraging, and though it only takes a swift slice of her machete to kill it, Carol is annoyed that the blood splatters all over her nice, clean white shirt. Here's a walker laying in the grass. On their way to the hilltop so Rick can meet Gregory and discuss trade, they come across an incident on the road that Jesus quickly realizes this is as his people. He begs for Rick's help to find the rest of them, and Rick is hesitant. He ultimately agrees and saves several members of the hilltop. Here's a walker that's like in a little fucking tank. During the attack on the Saber satellite, Paula and the team capture Carol and Maggie, and they are standing outside there, bound and gagged and taken to a solar house where the part of the security system includes walkers that are used to not only keep others out, but to keep the hostages from escaping, which is fucked up. Here you have this fucking freaky looking walker. Carter is running through the woods trying to get the horde back on track after Alexandria. When he is grabbed and bitten by the cheek, on the cheek, he screams and draws the attention of the wandering herd, and Rick attempts to keep him quiet. He puts him out of his misery by stabbing him in the head. Oh yeah, because he got like fucking eaten and shit. So this is the final card of this whole little set. And this walker was the one from the inside. The watchtower has weakened when the Willis trucks land into it, and when it collapses and crashes down, it takes out a section of the perimeter wall of Alexandria with it. Hundreds of walkers in the quarry come pushing in against the walls, streaming into the community, forcing everyone to run for their lives. This is the final card. This entire little set was awesome as hell. As y'all know, I love The Walking Dead. And like, oh, hang on, my foot went to sleep. But to be able to open these up, man, hell, so far I've done opened up season 1, 2, the comics. I want to get the black and white comic ones they have as well, so I have all the sets. But that one's hard as shit to find, apparently. But fucking, yeah, hell, this is season 6. I also have season 7, The Road to Alexandria. Fucking, I have all sorts of shit. I got almost all their sets of the Walking Dead sets, so that's all that counts. But, yeah, I hope y'all have enjoyed. Y'all be safe and y'all have fun. And I will catch you on the next one. See you then.